Yo, let me see something. I'm about to fight this whole thing. Come on, come sit. You see when your kids come in your place and just twist up your stuff? Alright, morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. I'm gonna have to turn this camera around because I can't see the comments. And I can't follow the comments either. Rotate device. Journal, y'all gotta bear with me. Where are my comments? Alright, see that. Listen, I'm actually going live from my phone this morning because internet is down. One of them problem thing that are foreign. So, shout out to the people going out to work this morning. I don't know how the audio sound. Shout out to the people coming in from work. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, stay-at-home moms and pops and retirees and the drivers. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. I'm going live on my phone this morning because I really wanted to go live, but I have no internet. I woke up this morning, Spectrum is acting up. In my part of Florida, we've been having like a whole lot of rain lately. Heavy rains, like things are wash wet. We were supposed to have a storm the other day. I'm glad I didn't. You know, sometimes that's why I'm gonna listen to people, but I understand that people were feeling a bit concerned. So they were like, SouFlo, put up your storm shutters, buckle down everything. And then here comes the media, and the news people was like, it's gonna be about 20 to 30 mile per hour winds. Might not be strong enough to take your roof off, but it'll be strong enough to blow away anything that's not strapped down outside. That kind of stuff. So me, I worried. But we did get some. All it did was rain for 24 hours straight. That's it. And it literally rained for 24 hours straight. The rain eased up some, come down heavier, ease up some throughout the day, into the night, but the rain never stopped. And that's it. We didn't get no winds, we didn't get anything blown away, none of that stuff. So here we are. And ever since then, the internet has been acting up. One thing I'll give them credit for though was the other day we heard a loud explosion. We in the house, we are watch TV, lights on in the house and stuff. This is daylight, and we heard boom in the backyard. Everybody is like, "What is that?" Because that sounded like a shotgun blast. Turns out something on the wires exploded. I forgot what them call it, or something. But they were out here in like 30 minutes. Call FPL, and they sent somebody out in like 30 minutes. And they said your electricity should be back in about 4 hours. It was back in 30 minutes. The transformer, yes. Darlene Walter Riley, oh no, bear with me this morning, call me I them not too good on my little phone me I work with, and the phone they're way over there. So me I look to my glasses because I'm still under these bright lights and it's messing up my eyes. That's why you see me I kind of gusso. So, yeah, but the transformer exploded. And with that, boy, these kids, man. When your kids come in your room and rearing, and now I understand why my uncle them used to not like when I went into their rooms. Because, you know, as I like a picnic there at my grandmother's house, but it's my grandmother, her children them have them room there. And they used to try to tell her, like, please don't make them go into the room. So me used to go in and go find stuff. Dig up and find Playboy magazine and all these things. And when they come back, they couldn't find their stuff where they left it. Not even their work. But anyhow, listen, I don't have much on the board this morning. I just didn't want to leave you hanging. But I did have two bad dreams. Well, one of the dreams was so intense I couldn't wake up. I had to wake up from it, and I forced myself to wake up from it. I don't know if you dream in color or you dream in black and white. Here's a good question to ask before I go further. When you dream, do you dream in color or do you dream in black and white? Give me some answer. You dream in color or you dream in black and white? Morning fam, morning Elaine Ben. Thank you for being here this morning. Good morning SouFlo family and everyone. You dream in color tells? Color, both? Lessa says both. Color, color, color. Okay, most people dream in color then. Both, both. Me never get a black and white dream yet, but I guess. Unless me I dream about watching old TV. Me too, I had two, but I was crazy. Mainly color. Mainly color. Alright. First dream. I'm gonna need y'all to help me interpret these dreams, right? So first dream. I don't think dreams don't mean nothing. I think dreams mean something. Sometimes it could mean that you ate too much before you went to sleep. But whenever I eat too much before I go to sleep, I actually ate 2 sandwiches for yesterday for the whole day. That was my meal. 2 sandwiches. Had a good workout yesterday. Did an hour on a treadmill. Did an hour of weight training. After, spent 2 hours in the gym as well. And I ate 2 sandwiches for the entire day. You know when you go around the house and you're like, hey, I'm going to eat this before it's spoiled kind of thing. I'm that kind of a person. I don't like to waste food. And if it's there and I see it like going out, I'll try to find something to do with it. So sometimes you end up, I get some mix up. That's that's just how I am. That's how my granny raised me. My grandmother, nothing now waste, nothing now dash away. You understand? Everything get eat. Pig from the rooter to the tutor. Everything is getting eaten and something can make out of it. Soup, something. So I had some turkey meat in there yesterday. I'm gonna end up make sandwich with it. You know, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, onions, all that stuff. 2 big sandwich and full my belly. And that's it. But anyhow, here's the dream. First dream. So, first dream, I'm in a marketplace, right? The marketplace looked like somewhere in Jamaica where, you know, when Saturday market are run, right? SouFlo, you don't see the video with the woman that they cut off her head and her. No, I'm gonna say that. I'm sure it's in the chat room now, though, but I'm trying to catch up. So we'll get to that. I even heard that they officially charged something. I'm not going to all that yet. Let's stick to this for now. Yeah, I'm in a marketplace and I have my whole family with me, right? Crowded marketplace, you know, like Jamaica marketplace, Saturday you go market. Man, some of you probably can't relate because you never go market before. You grow well prissy and stuff. But anyhow, I'm driving a van, right? And in the van, I have Shakira, I have all the children, and we are driving through the marketplace. And for some reason, we stopped, and Kai got out of the van. So Kai got out of the van now, and he's standing on the sidewalk, and I didn't see him. I didn't see when he got out of the van. But as I'm driving away, I went to go turn a corner to leave the street that the market is on. And I realized I glimpsed Kai. I started saying to everybody else in there, is Kai in here? Or is there a little boy outside that looked like Kai? And everybody is like, no, Kai stepped outside. He went out the van. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, why did y'all let him get out the van? Why did y'all let him get out the van? So I'm turning around now for try. Go back, go pick him up. Kai gone. He's gone into the crowd. He's walking away. And I'm stuck in traffic trying to get back to him to pick him up. And I'm trying to get there. The more the dream goes on, the more I'm in my sleep panicking because he's disappeared now. And now I'm telling my other kids, like, get out. Everybody get out. Go ask every store manager, everything. Anybody you could find, run into any store, ask them if you've seen him, something, and we couldn't find him. As the dream is going along, I can't find me youth. And I start panicking more. The panic was so intense, I jumped up out of the dream, man. I was like, I'm like, oh. And he was right beside me sleeping. So I don't know what that dream mean. Like lose him in a marketplace and we couldn't find him again. And why did they let him come out the vehicle and all these kind of things? I mean, he's only 3 years old. Why did y'all let him out the vehicle by himself? Right? Yes, Maria's product says, thank God it was just a dream. Man, listen, I panicked. I'm in my dream hyperventilating. I jump up out my sleep and I was still breathing the same way. You know? I don't know what that dream means, but I'm asking you what you think it means. Wish I could remember my dreams. See, I've heard people say that. Senior Sexy. I've heard people say they can't remember their dreams. Like, I have dreams, but I can't remember them. I always remember my dreams. Like 99% of my dreams, I always remember them. You know? Maria's product says, be mindful. You know, I don't know how to relate to that dream. Continue keeping a close eye on him. Sunshine Diva says, some dreams when they are at intense, they drain you physically and mentally. Yes, they do. Because you wake up out the dream feeling like you were running around. Not true? I woke up out the dream feeling like I was running. I mean, I'm tired, you know. I jumped up, you know, and my chest is like, because I can't find my child. And I just let all the other kids, like my teenage sons who are older, everybody out. And I'm commanding everybody like I'm in the military. I'm like, go here, go there, go into this store, ask this person. And then I jump up out the dream. I'm like, whoo, whoo. And Kai was fast asleep right next to me. Thank God. Dreams don't always go straight. Yes. Claudette Sterling. They have a saying that says dreams that travel like arrow or something like that. Dreams that fly straight or something. So there's a meaning there, but you won't know the meaning if you interpret it exactly as you got it, kind of thing. Sharon the Brickhouse says, just stay prayed up. Definitely. Dreams don't walk straight. Couldn't be about. Keep watching all your children. The dream means that you may have challenges. Challenges of blessings? With all the madness concerning children heavy on your mind, so you incorporating it. Could very well be that. Could very well be that. You know, interesting, yes. Somebody just said with all the madness going on concerning children, you know, I'm probably overly concerned as a parent, and so I'm incorporating it into my psyche, and it's manifesting itself through my dreams, my subconscious, right? Come to my conscious while I'm sleeping. Like the other day when the youth go into the school and shoot up all those kids, you can't help but, I mean, my children go to school here. You can't, and Kai and Milani, they're not school age yet. And the others, they've been homeschooled for the past couple of years, but you can't not be concerned. You can't not be concerned because you send your kids out to be in the care of teachers and faculty, staff, members, whatever. And next thing, story break, teacher molest off your picnic at school, followed her or him into the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. Man come in school, shoot up the place, kill 20 at picnic. All these kind of things, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I guess that could be a part of it as well. Could be. Maria's product says you're a concerned parent. Boy, that gives me, so I have anxiety then. And you know, I'm usually the kind of person that's always overly concerned anyways. My mind automatically finds the worst scenario. You know, some people have said, don't worry about it, it's going to be okay. And that's not me. My mind usually finds the worst scenario first. That's just how I'm wired. You know? Your child's missing, I'm thinking the worst thing ever. So the other dream now, the other dream is, so I went back to sleep after I had that dream. Stayed up for a bit, then I went back to sleep, right? Hi from down under. Sarah, thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly. Down under, as in Australia? Down under? Your military background and possibly PTSD experiences. Maria's products, you're right on point. Yes. Oh. Okay, so the other dream. This is the other dream. Australia. Wow. I've never been. I would like to go. Sugar or not. Somebody say you might have had a lot of sugar. See, I can adjust the comments. Yes. Yes, because the comment section was just going away from me. I want to be interactive this morning because I don't have my computers, I don't have internet at the house, and I'm broadcasting from my phone. So I know the audio probably not too up and all that, but I thought I couldn't catch the comment section, but I can. So Electric Soul says if you have a lot of sugar or not enough in your system, it can give you nightmares. It may have something to do with something from TV or movie. I usually don't dream at all, and I love it. Damn, you don't dream at all? Jeez, how could you love it if you don't know? I mean, you don't know what it's like to dream then. Some dreams you have some sweet dreams you don't want to wake up, but most of my dreams are like, I don't know, I don't have exciting dreams anymore. Ever since I'll tell you a real stuff. Ever since serving in the military and getting out of the military, I don't have beautiful dreams anymore. I have horrific dreams. Some are memories, some are flashbacks, some are my mind making stuff up and incorporating reality with stuff that never happened. It's there's no longer. I used to dream. I've dreamt since I was a child. I used to dream. I used to have beautiful dreams. But after getting out of the military, I no longer have beautiful dreams. I can't tell you when last I had a beautiful dream that made me want to dream. Like, some dream, I used to dream when I was younger. I used to want to go back to sleep so I could go back into that dream because the dream was so sweet. Don't have those dreams anymore. Ever since military service, my dreams have been horrific. Most of them, anyways. Most of them. So the second dream, I don't know where I was, but I started hearing like loud noise. Like how people talk on the bullhorn, and they're like, round everybody up, everybody to the left, everybody to the left, and get everybody in the vehicles. And I was like, why are they rounding us up? Why is who saying round everybody up? First I thought, who the hell is saying round everybody up? And I looked outside, and there were these vehicles that don't look like military vehicles. They look more like space vehicles, like something we never seen before, kind of thing. And they were rounding up people, like all of us, and they were putting us in there. So some of us started fighting. I seen people saying we're not going in there, and I was like, okay, this is serious. It's getting serious. We're not going in there. We're not going in there, and they're putting kids this way, parents this way. Some people are getting separated. Some are going in as family, and I'm watching from a distance, right? And they're getting closer to me. How I woke up out of that dream was, I remember one guy said, don't remember the face either. Just remember it being a guy, a man, a big, strong man. He tried to grab me here, and he was like, didn't you hear me say go this way? And he grabbed me like this, and I don't know where I got it from, but I had a sharp object in my hand. And as soon as he grabbed me, I grabbed him, right? And I turned his head sideways, and I'm stabbing. And as I'm stabbing all the side of his face right here. As I'm stabbing, blood is just flying everywhere. And I'm stabbing till he goes limp. And I'm still holding him up, And I thought my grip was so strong. This is what I come out of the dream thinking. My grip was so strong that even though I wanted to let him go so he could fall, because apparently I killed him or he passed out. But I wanted to let him go so he could fall. I couldn't let go. So I'm holding on to this person. I'm stabbing, blood flying everywhere. Nobody interrupted. It just one of them like a movie scene that just zeroes in on this scene. These two people existed. I saw nothing else at that point except for him. Grab me and tell me, I told you gotta go this way. And I said, I'm not going. I grabbed him. Start stabbing. Don't know where to get the thing from in my hand I was stabbing him with either or anything like that. And again, jumped up out of my sleep. And this time I didn't go back to sleep. So that dream. And this isn't the first dream that I've had about us getting rounded up. Like, like when they're rounding up people to put them in a concentration camp or rounding people up to go into some kind of, like they're capturing us for whatever the reason is. Go ahead and round everybody up. I don't know what to make of that dream. And I keep thinking about it because the stabbing scene is so vivid. You know? What do you think of that dream? Can't see my comments. Okay, here are my comments. CVID camps coming. In my dream, I win every fight until it's time for me to get some licks, and then we just wake up and cut. Yo, I used to have dreams where I'm fighting, and yeah, you're right. Once you start to lose, you jump out of the dream. Especially if like you're fighting, and you can't win. Y'all get some lick, right? You're losing. I jump out the dream. Sometimes you be so mad, you're like, yo, me can't go back in the dream. I used to control my dream, I think, because I used to go back into the dream and catch up right where I left off at with the person who I was fighting with and start fight again. Me come out for check to make sure, say, yo, it was a dream. It was a dream. You're good to go. It wasn't real. Go back in and finish the fight now. That like that kind of stuff. I used to have fun with my dreams. You are Jamaican. It could be about all the bad reporting you're doing about Jamaica. I do bad reporting about everywhere, my friend. I don't know if that would cause me to have a dream like that. I attribute that probably more towards my combat experience and my time in the military again. Right? I've seen some really gory stuff. And I experienced some unspeakable things. Stuff that normal humans don't really adjust back from. You know what I'm saying? I think a part of it is why me seeing like what's going on in Jamaica, for instance, or anywhere else, it's like, yeah, it's bad, but I've seen worse. Like if I get pictures, because they send them, those of you who are in the chat room, you notice the pictures in there, the videos in there, anybody face get bust out, gunshot, man get shoot up in his face and all these things. They send them to us, right? And when I get them, I post them in the chat room, and I've given permission for others to post them in the chat room, so we see them. For me, I look at those things like, and there's something in me now that allows me to, I am so, how should I say it? Desensitized. I'm so desensitized, I study the details, right? Even when I'm doing OT, occupational therapy, when I'm doing OT, if one of my patients pass away, like I walk into a facility and they're like, hey, you know that Miss Jones, let's throw a name out there randomly. I'm not telling people business. No location is given, specific facility is given, patient name, none of that stuff. I'm just throwing stuff, a scenario for you. I walk into a facility and I've been doing therapy with, say, Miss Jones for about a month, right? We have a rapport. I'm getting to know her. You start to feel kind of attached to some of your patients, right? I come in one morning and I'm like, okay, who do I have on my list this morning? Boom, Miss Jones, Miss this, Miss that. So I have my list and I'm like, let me go check Miss Jones first because she's a morning person. She likes to do therapy in the morning. And then a nurse says to you, hey, you know Miss Jones passed away, right? I'm like, what? When? I did therapy with her yesterday. They're like, she passed away last night. Or she passed away early this morning when I came in. Divine Order, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Divine Order, shalom. Blessings to you and your family always. Keep up the good work. I wish you 1 million members and subs. Thank you. All right, so I go, where's she at? And they're like, she's in the room still. She's still in the room? Mind you, she'll pass away around 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm at work by 8. They haven't come to take the body away yet or anything. I actually go in there. I go in there and I look at them close up. And I'm like, okay, like this close. I'm like, okay, her eyes are still open. Her mouth is still open. Looked like she gasped for her last air and left her mouth stuck open like that. I study details of death or dead people. Or I'm not afraid to like get real close to it. I was before. But again, after military service, I'm not I find myself studying stuff that other people are like, oh God, geez, don't show me that. Or, oh man, why y'all looking at that? I can't look at that for too long. And I'm like, I could see the brain matter. Okay, so his brain really come out this side. All right, his whole forehead is open. You know, I study the details all the way down, right? So them things might be what is messing with. I mean, I remember my first deployment. My first deployment was hectic, and we lost a lot of people. And not only that, that was the first time that I actually saw gory stuff. And then after that, a year of that, and I was desensitized forever. Because there's nothing in civilian world that's happening that equals what happened on the battlefield, so to speak. Just call it on the battlefield, so to speak. So I don't know. My mind always equal back to that type of stuff. I remember seeing a BMW get shot up, and I was a part of the PSD, Personal Security Detachment, for our unit commander. So any vehicle that gets shot up, anybody that gets shot, anything, any bomb go off, explosion, people blown to pieces, whatever, I had to go out there with him, right? So I go out there with him, and he's out there, and we're taking pictures, and we're assessing the scene, and he's talking to other commanders or whoever is in charge, local leaders. This is in Iraq, local leaders and stuff, and we're just looking. And I remember a building being hit they were trying to hit where we were staying, and it missed and hit a building on the outskirts right at the entrance of where we were staying. And they were having a birthday party in there. So when we got the call and we rode out, right out the gate, and we went to go look, that was my first time seeing like a half of a human and a piece of leg, still with the part of the shoes, the foot still in the shoe, just separated from the person from like right above the knee down. And I'm standing there, I'm pulling security, and somebody from upstairs, it was a 2-story building, somebody from upstairs takes a leg and throw it downstairs. And the leg almost hit me, and it landed right beside me. So I looked down, and that's the first time I was like, I can't look. And then I looked. I can't look. That's a human leg. And then I looked. I made myself look. And I started studying the leg. Alright, damn. And then of course down came the rest of the body parts. Like they weren't even, nobody went up there to like pick them up, gather them up in a bag, like a body bag or anything. They were literally just throwing them over from second floor over, just throwing them down, and I was downstairs. So all these things, they play a part. They play a part, right? But some dreams feel so, somebody said, but some dreams feel so real. Yes, that part though. My dreams feel very real. Like I'm in them. I am in them. I am living them. Like when I was stabbing out the side, when I was stabbing the head of the person I'm telling you about from last night's dream, and the blood was flying everywhere, yo, I was in that. When I couldn't find Kai, and I'm like, go into this store, get out, come go to this store. Ask them if they see. That was real. Like I was in it. I don't know if what I experienced in the army kind of transfers over into my real life, because I'm always expecting the worst to happen. And because I'm always expecting the worst to happen, I will overreact to situations. You know what I'm saying? You know what? This is a good conversation. This is kind of a healing moment for me because I don't normally talk about all this stuff. So internet gone around here, and I'm using my phone, and it's probably for a good reason. I get to release some stuff. I don't normally get to talk about some stuff, and I won't go too deep. I'm scratching the surface, trust me. Because I don't want to start boo-hoo in front of people that don't know me and all that. But I think that stuff carries over into my real life. And it makes me always on edge. You know, like I tell you, I'm hoping for the best, but my mind always goes to the worst scenario is about to happen. The worst thing is about to happen. If I'm away from my kids, I'm thinking the worst thing is happening to them. You know, anything that happens, I'm thinking the worst first. Average people are like, don't have bad thoughts, and you got to stay positive in your mind and with your thoughts. I tried to tell myself that, and I tried practicing it. I tried some deep breathing, try some meditation, that stuff don't work. My mind goes right back to the worst that's happening right now. You know, so, but that's a part of that, man. Ever dream man hit the person you're sleeping with? Yeah. I was dreaming and strangled the person that was next to me, sleeping. You hear me say? I was dreaming and I woke up strangling the person that was next to me. Like squeezing the daylights out of their neck like this. Yeah. Nobody never dream I licked me yet. I've been told I said stuff in my dream that incriminated me and all that other stuff, you know. You know, when you dream, who named Chelisa? Who is Sherika? Mm-hmm. I had those. But I woke up strangling. Yeah. It was bad. It's bad. And it was really, really bad with me at one time. It's gotten better over time, but it's still bad. It's still bad. These are demons you battle on your own, man. I was talking to a psychiatrist the other day. Oh, here they go now. SouFLo crazy. MC psychiatrist. Please don't judge me. I was talking to a psychiatrist, right, because they made it mandatory. So the VA made it mandatory that I had to see a psychiatrist. And I'm talking to the psychiatrist. I try to stay away from them because I don't think the VA means veterans any good. I think they have a bunch of people in there who are more about saving money and I don't know, fattening their own paychecks or whatever. But anyhow, I'm talking to the psychiatrist, and after not seeing one for quite some time, man, I just bust out bawling because he was like, he said, are you having memory lapses and stuff like that? He started describing everything that I was going through at the time. And he was like, yeah, and people around you, they think it's like you do it on purpose. Like, for instance, I don't remember birthdays, right? I don't remember birthdays. I don't remember any of my kids' birthdays. I miss my own birthday. I don't remember holidays like, oh, it's Mother's Day. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Oh, it's this day. And I'm very insensitive to all of those days. See? So when he said it, I was like, wow. You know, and they think that you do this stuff on purpose, but it's not. It has to do with your other issues. See, it's your mind trying to protect you. Like my mind is trying to protect me from these. You know, if you give yourself to something and you celebrate so much this happiness and this thing, and then the worst thing happens and you lose it. Now you're in deep grief. So in order not to go to protect you from deep grief, you don't get attached. You don't celebrate stuff. You don't, you know. And when he said it, man, I just started bawling. And I don't know why the hell I was bawling. I was just crying. I guess because those who were around me, they were like holding stuff against me or judging me. Like, because I'm not into your holidays. I don't celebrate or I don't remember your birth. Or I'm not important enough to you. That's why you still don't remember my number. Or that's why you still don't remember my birthday. Or you don't know my number by heart and all these things. My mind works like this. If it's not detrimental, my mind isn't going to store it. And like even going to school, my mind stores stuff for when I need it. And then once I pass what it's needed for, gone. And I literally can't remember any of it again unless I go study again. Now, going back to study it, it'll come right back because I studied it intensely before. But literally dump it. That's how my mind works now, right? And for my kids, people are like, how many children you have? And I say them, so what are their ages? I could say their ages. I know their ages. What are their birthdays? Or if I have to fill out any forms, like when I was renewing everybody's passport for our last trip to Jamaica and all this other stuff, I couldn't remember any of the kids' birthdays. None of them. And I literally tattooed all of them right here. Just so I feel like the day will... I was panicking at first because I thought my whole memory was going to be wiped clean. I don't know if y'all ever watch a movie called The Manchurian Candidate with Denzel Washington, right? It's kind of like, I don't know, I was telling myself, say, what if I was in a rapid deployment infantry unit, right? We get shit done. So I'm thinking, what if they actually programmed you, sent you on some missions, then when you came back, they wiped your memory. You don't remember all of what you actually did, but it's coming back in glitches and pieces, right? And I'm thinking all these things. So, boy, I don't know. I'm thinking all these things. Like, what if that's what it was? What if that's what it is? Man, I remember coming back. I remember telling you, them give about 100 injection. You don't know, and you're not allowed to question anything. See, that's why I was telling people, like, I'm definitely not anti-vax. Because I didn't have a choice. I was getting like a bag of joke up and don't know where any of them, like, what is this? I remember the first time I said, what is this? Stop. I have the right to question what is going into my body. I heard, shut the fuck up. What? You take it and you move out. And jab me with the damn needle nets. Like, oh shit. And that was one of many. So I learned something there. Like, crazy. So I'm sure all that affects my dream. I remember coming back and I kept telling my team leader at the time, my squad leader at the time, I was the team leader. I kept telling the squad leader at the time, I said, yo, are any of you guys experiencing, like, you want blood, you want to fight? Like, I feel like I could fuck somebody up right now, like just grab a random person and they're like, nah. I think one other person was like, yeah, I feel the same way. And then over time, almost everybody started feeling the same way. So I'm like, and then again, I'm thinking, did they give us something to make us able to go from 0 to 100 in like 1 second? Because I could go from 0 to 110 in like in a millisecond, and it won't be the kind of 0 to 100 and, you know, some people get angry and 0 to 100 they get flustered and then they just start doing anything. I go from 0 to 100 precisely. I go from 0 to 100 with perfection. I hit bullseye 0 to 100. Like I've been practicing it all day. Whatever it is, the action is I decide to do. You know, so, and I'm like, yo. Pregman47 says, what is it I'm chatting about? Pregman47, you're late, right? So I started out talking about some dreams that I had. First of all, I normally go live on my computer where I could see all the comments in the comment section. I'm not really seeing the comments unless you see me move over like this every time and scroll the screen so the comments pop back up because I'm going live on my phone. I didn't want to not go live this morning because there are people that tune in almost every morning and I felt like I wanted to go live. So I'm going off my phone, not my internet service. And I was talking about 2 dreams that I had last night. One in which I killed somebody who was trying to round us all up to go into these vehicles like they were taking us away to somewhere I don't know. And the other one was I lost one of my children, my youngest son, Kai, after being out with the family, and I was panicking in my sleep trying to find him. And then I asked the audience to help me to interpret these dreams. And I'm talking myself through some self-therapy. Thanks to you for being a listening ear and participating. Things that I've been through that might also contribute to the way I sleep and dream. Right? All right. And as soon as I said sleep, this is how I started SouFLoTV. Tell you the truth. So I had SouFLoTV before, right? It was a family channel. It was supposed to be a family channel. You would see my kids doing stuff like, I wanted to put this image out there of a dad that's very much into his children. And, you know, I'm working hard to give them a good life, and they will get toys and trinkets and they would enjoy them. And people would get to see them ride their motorcycles and do all this kind of stuff. And then nobody wasn't really interested in it. But the military stuff was going on. And as it was coming to an end, I said, I'm going to jump into this SouFLoTV stuff the whole way. But I want to do something different with it. Then I got out and figured out I couldn't go to sleep. I was literally sleeping about 4 hours max every 24 hours. Sometimes I would stay up for 2 days straight before I went to sleep. And because my mind was just going and going and going and going, and I couldn't sleep. So I said, you know what? If I'm going to be up, I have to channel, because I'm going to go crazy if I don't channel my energies into something else. So I did the whole working 2 jobs thing. 1 full-time job in the day, 1 full-time job in the night. That's why I told y'all, this is why every morning I say, shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you because I actually know what it feels like to do it. I did it for 4 years. And I was doing 2 to 10, 1 job, 2 to 10 at 1 facility. And then the next facility, I had 1 hour break in between to go across town to another facility and do 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., then 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I did that for 4 years straight. I was doing all that and still couldn't sleep. Those would wear me out when I found extra stuff to do on top of those 2 jobs. So I said, you know what? This YouTube thing, it takes a lot to build a platform, a sensible platform that's going to last. It takes a lot. You could come out here and just put up stuff and cover stories and whatever. You'll be all right. But if you build a brand and something to last, it's going to take you a lot of work to do it. So I stayed up all night. And I was like, let me channel my energy into something that probably could benefit me and others instead of me just sitting here going crazy, walking around all night, sitting outside all night, laying down trying to go to sleep, counting sheep backwards. I used to literally count from 1,000 and I would end up at 1. And still no sleep. 1,000, 999. 998, 997. If you could imagine doing that and going all the way to 10, 9, 8, 7. Like, can't sleep. I started using over-the-counter sleep meds. I had to drink a whole bunch of that. And then it would just knock you out, and I would still wake up. And I would wake up and I would be tired as hell because the sleep meds is in my system, but I can't sleep. Like real issues, man, real friggin' issues. So I started giving myself to SouFLoTV, and all night I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay up because I'm gonna be the first one to get the story. And then after doing that for quite some time, I realized it wasn't a wise idea to be the first person to break a story, because when you do, you normally break the story with hearsay and not credible information kind of thing, and you don't have all the pieces. But I still started staying up and researching. All right, let me find out where the story really comes from. Let me get the first interview that was done on this story, but I want to also get, so I start going through the story, find the names of all the people involved, look them up individually, and that's what actually made this what it is now. So that's why I was able to say, yo, I'm building my stuff on credibility. But if you knew the kind of work that went into building your stuff on credibility, because you have to be credible if you're going to claim credibility. People have to be able to say, yeah, it's true, because I heard it over at SouFLoTV, and he don't miss. And if he ever does a story and it's not like he said it was, he always comes back and say, hey, the story we did yesterday on so-and-so, here's the facts. What we said yesterday was blah, blah, blah. Here's the facts. The facts is this, da, 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 da. So, yeah, but it started out of that. Actually started out of, I never want to see nothing like that. JR, them tell everybody the same thing. It started out of me not being able to go to sleep. You know? Good morning, fam. I'm late. Big up yourself, Faye. Thank you for being here. You're good, don't worry, as long as you know it's not reality. Luella Baptiste, SouFlo at Bossy. Tarek just gave you a good reading about your dreams. I didn't see it. I'll have to go back through your life experience. Your dream points to balance. You are seeing and understanding things much more clearly. Kaz Robinson says, damn, so sorry about your experience. Sunshine Diva, that's one thing I'm not. I'm not sorry about my experience or my experiences. They made me who I am, right? And throughout all this, I always say to myself, I don't ever want to think like a normal, regular civilian again. I'm fighting for peace, for inner peace, quiet the turmoil, but I never want to be like all lackadaisical. I'm sorry, but I look at civilians like, civilians are like very comfortable as far as it might happen. I guess that's the reason why you're in Walmart, right? And a guy walks in Walmart and he's shooting an AR-15. He has it on burst, and you hear brrr, which is pop pop pop. Okay, the first one, I'm out of there because I already know what that is. But for a regular civilian, it's like, what's happening? Did y'all hear that? What is that? And my mind already passed what's happening. Did y'all hear that? What is that? I'm not asking nobody what's happening. Did y'all hear that? What is that? Nothing. I'm already 3 steps ahead of a normal person who never experienced all the things I experienced. So I can save people, and I can at least save myself in a situation like that. I can educate my children on what to look out for outside, because the world is not as rosy as we try to wake up and make it to be every day. Y'all see the type of stuff that's happening around us, right? So I don't have any, I'm not sorry for anything. I made choices, and choices come with consequences. Nobody forced me to go into the military. It's something I always wanted to do, and I did it. I just didn't think it was going to be all that, and it was, and more. So I learned. Life is like this window that we all have, right? And we're all passing through. Your window opens, you're here. And yeah, your window closes, you're out of there. It's not like we're going to be here forever and all this other stuff. We have a short time, as long as it is. Remember I told y'all I love speaking to elderly people, extremely, like people that are really, really older. That's why I enjoy the geriatric side of OT, because I could reason with them. So what's it like being 99? I mean, I am far from 99, and some of them would be like, whatever you do, don't get old. And that is terror. That causes me terror in my mind. Whenever one person said, whatever you do, don't get old. Everything stops working. Nothing works anymore. You fall apart. You hurt everywhere. Like, damn. And then there are those who give you like lasting, profound knowledge. One man said to me, he said, you know, I'm sitting at 99, I'm about to be 100, and it all really feels like I was a teenager like yesterday. I don't know how I got to 100. And I mean, I lived it. This is what he said. He said, I lived it. I lived every day of it. And I had a good life. But it all went by so fast. And I'm thinking, damn, if he's sitting at 99 and he's saying, Rose Ann RN, see ya. If he's saying at 99, like, yo, it all went by so fast. And I'm not even half there. I'm like, yeah, it goes by fast. It goes by fast. So I'm not worried about, like, I'm not bothered about my experiences. I'm just trying to figure out how to live with them and how to make them not affect anything negatively. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Still 5 years after I remember what I learned at the VA support group. I'm older Gulf War era veteran. Soldier Girl. That VA support group didn't do nothing for me. Actually, I didn't go to a support group. They were trying to see if I could fit into a group. I didn't want to be around people. Some of the guys that I served with, let me tell you, one experience was I met one guy that me and him went through a couple of years together. So we got really tight, right? And when I saw him, we both started crying. And I cut contact with him. I actually cut contact with him. So all that stuff I think about, like, because we couldn't say anything to each other. And then I'm standing there as a grown man. I'm like, why are you crying? And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm crying. I'm like, man, this is too much for me. You know? But I know why he's crying and he knows why I'm crying. So at the VA, the most I learned from, and this might be able to help somebody else, right? That's what, okay, I told y'all the story one time about I'm driving down the highway or down the street and here comes this young dude, you know, fire red Mustang he was driving. I'll never forget, I had just came home and he had all his windows down and he's blasting music. And you know, he's in the car like, yeah, bitch, what, come, and I'm paying attention, so I see him coming down and I could hear the music already. I'm like, I'm just holding my lane, not paying people no mind. And out of every friggin' body in the world to pull up next to, this cat pulled up next to me. We're driving. I'm not standing still at a light. We're driving and he pulls up next to me. The way he was acting and middle finger and all this. I'm looking at him. I got one hand on the steering wheel. I'm looking at him. My other hand already took out my weapon. There's one in the chamber. My finger is on the trigger. And I raised it just this high to the window. And I'm holding it there and I'm looking like this. And I'm watching him through my side vision, peripheral vision, and then give him full glance and watching and give him full glance. I'm waiting for, you know, and I'm driving. And he stayed there and he did his stuff, and what? And the whole time I'm telling myself, I'm like, I'm about to kill somebody. My life is going to change because I'm about to kill somebody on the streets in the US. This is not a combat zone. I had to like walk myself through it while it's happening. And I'm trying to walk myself through it, but it was hard to walk myself through it. And I couldn't put that gun away. And I was ready to do it because I thought he was going to do something. And all it was just one of them. I live in Florida. If it's hot out here, people got their windows down. You probably see feet on the dashboard or out the window. I don't know. music playing loud, enjoying the day. Some of them get real turned up. You got a lot of people here who pop pills and smoke whatever they smoke and do whatever, and they're riding around in the daytime. In other words, they're not here to do anything to you. They might be doing stupid stuff, but they're not really here to do anything to you. I didn't take it as that. I took it as a threat. And I thought I was about to have to kill somebody. And to de-escalate that, when I went and I told the counselor at the VA that, the counselor took it another way. Oh, so you're like she wanted to spin it another way. Like I was at fault, and so I never saw her again. They sent me to another one, a psychiatrist after her. He comes in late for one. First of all, you're dealing with military people and you're coming in 15 minutes late. We go 15 minutes early. And when he came in, he was rubbing his hands like this. And coughed into his hands, rubbing his hands like this. And goes, hey, I'm so-and-so, and reached out his hand to shake my hand. And for one, I'm not going to shake your hand because you just coughed in your hand. But for two, which is one for me, he walked in with a smell of cigarettes. And I don't know what brand of cigarettes he was smoking, but my mind just went right back. What's my point? My point is triggers. I don't know if you're talking to me, Llewellyn, Baptiste, whatever. I see a lot of people in here who are actually not even, like you don't have any membership to the channel, so really I don't answer you. I mean, you come and you enjoy, but I don't really answer people who don't have membership unless you're somebody who I understand why you don't have membership. So if you're going to be a certain way, then keep it kosher. You know what I'm saying? You either listen or you move out. I'm not begging you to be here. The people who have membership, they are people who are of a different mindset when it comes to this platform, right? Anyhow, the next psychiatrist they sent me to came in there smelling like cigarettes 15 minutes late to the appointment. That shit it triggered me. And I got up and I said to him, I said, how dare you come in here 15 minutes late? I've been waiting on you. Where are you? Where were you? Out smoking your cigarettes. He goes, yeah, I have a smoking habit that I have to quit. I said, listen, man, let's call this session over with. And I would like to see somebody else, not you. And he was like, can we reschedule and we'll start off on a different note? And I'm like, no, because it's done. It's done. My first perception of him was it's done. Didn't go to him. Finally got a good lady, and they moved her up out of the VA location that I was at. Her husband was in. At the time I was going to her, she had 2 sons who were presently deployed then. So she understood. She's a military wife and she understood, and she was dealing with everything. The rest of them, they're like, oh, I have a master's degree in psychology. And so tell me about your experiences. I'm like, I got to relive this shit in front of you? I don't even know you like that. Right? Triggering. And tell you for what? For your entertainment's sake? They're like, damn, you're pretty wound up. Okay, listen, end of the session. I got to go. Schedule me for somebody else. I don't want to see you again. And I get like that. But this lady taught me a couple of things, man. Like simple things. Like for one, and this is why I said this could help somebody. I used to carry around a smelling salt thingy. And whenever my mind was going places, like I know I was about to get violent, or I know that I was overacting, overthinking, I'll just pull out that simple thing. And it would literally, I was surprised that something so simple actually worked. And it worked. I would panic if I'm driving down the street and I see garbage, like somebody's bag of garbage rolled off and put on and sat there on the side of the road. You know why? Because in my deployment, that's how they used to hit us. They used to act like they took the garbage out, right? And there would be these bags. And you thought, they put their garbage out. Their garbage truck is coming to collect their garbage. And we would travel in 4 vehicle convoys. They would wait till like our second or third vehicle got close to the bag, and then somebody would detonate it from a different location, and we'd lose people and we'd lose a vehicle. So when I came back, even driving around and seeing people's garbage out, they're putting the garbage out because the garbage truck is coming to collect it. It's garbage day. I'm thinking one of these about to blow up. Heights of panic. And then my breathing exercises and all that other stuff. You know, in through the nose, out through the mouth, count, backwards, all that other stuff. And it worked. It worked. It helps in the moment. But all that. I know I went on a long tangent this morning, but I don't know. I felt like I needed to do that, especially having them 2 dreams after that. So shout out to the people who allowed me to talk and listen and interact. You are in therapy with us at the moment, SouFlo. I appreciate you, man, and I feel like it. I feel like it because half of the stuff I'm talking about, I have nobody to talk to about it, and I don't speak. You know, I don't speak about these things. So people see you on a daily basis, and they're like, "Oh yeah, SouFlo, so and so and so," but people don't know your story. You know what I mean? They don't know your background. They don't know what your demons like, what you battle every day, that type of stuff. But it is life. That's my life. That's my life. I'm good though. Or I will be. You know. I will be. So with that said, Mr. SouFlo, what's the bad dreams? Oh, I already spoke about them. The bad dreams. Karen Austin is asking what's the bad dreams. I had 2 dreams last night. One where I killed somebody because they were trying to round up all of us and put us in some vehicles I've never seen before. And the other one was I lost my son. Out with the family and lost my son, my youngest son. And I was panicking, like trying to find him, and I couldn't find him. I'm able to control, used to be able to control my dreams. Like we talked about before, we was laughing, right? So I was like, yeah, I used to control my dream where if you win in the fight, you jump back in the dream. And if you lose, and you'll jump out the dream and you'll jump back in the dream, try to catch up to where you left off at. Sometimes I couldn't catch that place again. And you wake up mad, like, man, him get the last lick. Like, him lick me. And I could never get to lick him back and thing. But that dream with losing Kai, I tried to jump back in and I couldn't. I ended up dreaming something else. But the dream was so intense. And when I realized that the dream kept going on and I couldn't find him, I jumped out of it. Jumped out of it to save myself. And then I was glad that it was a dream. You know, glad that it was a dream. If you see my hand keep coming to the screen like this, that's because that's what I have to do to see the comment section. Somebody says try equine therapy. Equine therapy? Explain to me what that is. Hope sharing was therapeutic for you, and thanks for sharing. Stacey Ann, thank you for listening. And yes, it was very therapeutic for me. You know when something sits on your chest or in your mind and you can't get it anywhere? Mom says crying is a good dream. I woke up crying too. You ever had a dream where you cried so hard? Oh, horses? Equine therapy. I did that. So when I was going through Kaiser University, you choose 4 different settings when you're doing your clinicals. And for me, it was pediatrics, equine with the horses. That's the first time and I was afraid of horses. And they sent us to this horse stable, and I had to work there for, I think that was 2 weeks. 2 weeks or 4 weeks. But I had to, first they have you cleaning the horses. And I'm like, what the hell does this have to do with occupational therapy though? Why am I having, and she was like, yes, you have to brush the horse's tail. I come from Clarendon. Mr. Donkey kick people senseless. I'm not trying to brush this horse's tail. But by the end of it, I was brushing the horse's tail. I wasn't getting kicked, right? They teach you how to put your hand on the horse and walk all the way around from the back part to the front. The horses kick when they're surprised and stuff like that. Bathe the horse, shovel horse manure, clean up the stable. And then I got to work with this one kid that had cerebral palsy. And he had it really bad. Like he had real bad contractures like this. And to see that youth, right, when we helped him up on the horse, to see his body just bounce with each bounce from the horse and lead him around till he's relaxed. And he got so relaxed that he's able to move like how the rest of us move. So yeah, I went through that. I just forgot what the name of it was. And why did I think it was equine therapy and not equine? But I'm aware of it. I don't know if that will work for me though. But anything is worth a try. Anything is worth a try for peace of mind, right? And for somewhat of a normal or peaceful life. I wouldn't say normal, but peaceful life. My friend went to Vietnam, and every 4th of July with the fireworks, he cried. Listen to me, man. Hey, wifey was talking about that last night. I forgot what we were watching fireworks. Oh, I think we were watching Karen videos. You know, just keeping it light, watching some funny videos, watching white women go crazy on people for no reason, type of thing. And it was 4th of July, and this lady runs out of her house, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs, "No! More! Stop!" Like that. Everybody else is like, why the hell is she screaming like that? The first thing I thought was, that's how I feel inside every 4th of July. I wonder if she's a veteran. Because 4th of July don't really mean a celebration as in pop a bunch of fireworks for some of these veterans. You know? Especially those who've ever been in a combat zone. You don't have to have been in combat for this. But if you've been in a combat zone, you've heard when shit got hot. All the boom, boom, and the pop, 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 pop. And the cars coming in with injured people and all that. You've heard it. So 4th of July is like a perfect replica of that playing all over again. So every 4th of July, like my children will tell you, I disappear on 4th of July. I ghost. I hide out. I just pray, say, done. Like, okay, get your fireworks off and get it over with. Because I'm not the type to put out signs, but I have been through neighborhoods where I saw people put signs out that says a combat veteran lives in this neighborhood or a combat veteran lives at this home. Please do not set your fireworks off here or near here. And others in the neighborhood, they'll be like, yo, respect to the combat veteran, and I won't do it. And they'll take it somewhere else. They'll go out and watch a show or whatever. But for us, it's not no time to set off the fireworks. It's not. It's a terrifying friggin' time. You know, and wifey, she's not no combat vet, and she said the same thing. Like, every 4th of July, this is how she feels, like that lady. And I said to her, so you can imagine how somebody feels that this is replicating and bringing back all that, right? Pickaxe says, you never grow up as a sufferer. Life never hard to you while you were growing up. You only get to understand what pressure and stress is when you get in the army. So they almost mess up your brain. And these are people that are actually not even subscribed to my channel, or probably not even, or are not a paid member. That comment right there, you don't know how I grew up. You don't know what hardships I went through. You're assuming. But to make it a statement like you know me, you don't know me. Why? Because I say I had a good life. I left Jamaica early. So the good life I was talking about was early. You think I was carrying a gun at 14 for no reason? Because life was just cushy? See, some of y'all see people, right? And you just have them all figured out by a couple of stories that they tell you. You can't figure me out. You know what I want you to know. So I understand your assumption. But it's only an assumption. Alright? It's only an assumption. As an ex-military wife, I'm learning a lot over here. As my husband don't say much, but his body language says a lot. Yeah, and people like us, we have to be around people that understand that. A lot of the guys that I served with are either like 2 times divorced by now or are completely single and play in the field as grown men, at a time when you should be settling in with your honey, someone who's been there with you. But spouses, some of them can't take it. It's, hey, I'm here for the long haul. It's sickness and health till death do us part, and then that, and then I'm out. I can't. This is too much. I gotta go. So a lot of them get left, right? A lot of them get left. Don't respond to them. They want to distract you. Yeah, Nurse James. It's or who said that? Nubian Ninja. Yeah, it's all right. Not really a distraction. I address them and move on. I've learned to do that thanks to YouTube. I address them and move on. But anyhow, yeah, when 4th of July comes around, and it's funny because today is what? So we are in June. July is coming around next month. So while you're setting off your fireworks and your big booms and your barbecues and you're caught up in a celebration, what do we celebrate on 4th of July? You celebrate America's independence, right? All right. That independence is maintained by, whether you want to know it or not, it's maintained by bloodshed. It's maintained by fighting. It's maintained by what some people call fucking up other people that don't deserve to be fucked up. If that's how you see it, and pardon my language, but I have to keep it raw. So in honoring those who make sure that you don't have to wake up, because I've been to other people's country. I ran all through that. And I'm thankful every time, because my kids don't wake up in a war zone. There's nobody sleeping on my roof. There's nobody knocking my door to say, we're coming in and we're spending the night in here. Gather all your family members, put them in the living room where we could see them. We're taking over the rest of the house, right? My children don't have to wake up to that. My children don't have to wake up to foreign military vehicles parading up and down our blocks. Yes, we have our issues here. People walk into the school and shoot up people and all that. And as a parent, I'm going to be worried. But there's so much more going on in other places who are in conflict with this place that you live. You understand? And there's things that we can control, and then there are things that we cannot control. So if it's beyond my control, I just run with the winning team. I don't want to hear nobody tell me about in the future and 50 years from now. And I'm talking about now. I'm talking about what we have to live through and survive through. And I'm talking about protecting the best way I can, way of life and my children's future. So while you're thinking about that, while you're boom, blowing off your pop, 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 fireworks and stuff, just remember what I said. If there's a veteran, especially a combat veteran that lives in your area, you're about to make that person as miserable as they can possibly be for quite some period of time. After the 4th of July, I'm usually wound up for about the rest of that week, because it's that rough. King Big says, did I experience chemical warfare? King Biggs, I don't even know. I know they were burning stuff. I know there are guys that went with me who, because we had to be around the burn pits all the time. I don't know what else they might have released, but I remember as a kid reading about the generation that went before me that were in the Gulf. And I remember the military leaders from over there saying, yeah, they might win now, but we're going to give them something that they're going to be hurting for generations to come, or in the long run, something. And they released some type of gas or whatever they released on them over there. And years later, these guys are starting to have a breakdown. Like, I saw one of them when I was in New York at a barbershop. And he used to come upstanding, speaking, acting normal man. And within a few years, it was just crazy to watch the breakdown of a man, if you want to put it that way. Because he went from that kind of a person, yeah, and he's just home from the military, and he served, and this and that and that. And by the time I left, he was in a wheelchair, not a wheelchair. They used to walk him in, and he would walk in like this. And then he would shuffle his walk like this. And that's how he would walk. And they sat him in the barber chair to get his hair cut, and he would just stare into the glass like this. You had to close his mouth for him because he would just let it hang, and drool would just run out the side of his mouth, and he wouldn't respond when you speak to him and that kind of stuff. So nerve gas. Yeah, they got hit. And so I don't know what my future holds. I don't know what they released on us. I don't know what, but I'm paying attention to, like, a lot of us from my time are going through that memory stuff where the brain wipes. See? The brain wipes. And if you have people who are around you there, you need to remember this, and you should remember that. If they don't know that stuff, then you're going to be catching hell. Agent Orange was from Vietnam era, right? Or was it from the Gulf era? But it's a serious thing. And freedom ain't free for real. And these privileges that you enjoy, they don't just exist. That's why when I hear people say stuff like, yeah, the U.S. is going down and it'll be over in the next 5 years or so, I'm like, yeah, you don't understand what would happen or what would have to happen in order for that to happen. I mean, everything would get cleaned off the map in order for that to happen. But believe what you want to believe. My devil dog is a Gulf War veteran. Kai Tai Jai Empress. That's what's up. Devil dog is Marine. Do I regret joining the military? Not at all. Not at all. Because if I didn't join the military, and I told you this before, if I didn't join the military, right, you might not have heard it. I was literally contemplating on how to do hits for money. I wanted to be a hitman. I wanted to, like, take a contract and learn how to kill and get away with killing. Real talk. And I wasn't a dunce. I was in school. But I just said to you know what? You know when you're at that point in your life where you're like, okay, the good things are going to come to me if I stay on this route. Go to school, go all the way up, get some degrees, go market myself, find employment, all this. I'm like, that's too much. It's going to take too long. I'm growing up in Miami where I didn't have flashy things, but I'm seeing young people around me with flashy things. And I'm trying to figure out how to get to the flashy things, right? And I'm telling you, man, that's why I thank to this day, I thank my grandmother and my grandfather the most, because those are the people that instilled certain things in me that never left me. Because if it wasn't for them, the early teachings, I would have been 3 sheets to the wind, lost. Probably in somebody's institution right now, prison, or probably dead, or probably on death row getting ready to be killed. And I remember when I decided to go into the military, I left out of Brooklyn, New York. And a lot of people, because I was, I deal with everybody. So there's a lot of people was like, yo, Dre, you about to go to the white man army, you about to go fight the white man war, son. Yo, you about to get... When I left, when I came back, I just went back to the places that I used to go to see if anything changed. And I saw the same people stuck in the same situations doing the same thing. Like, who just got finished serving 2 years and just came back home because he was gone last summer, 2 summers, and then he did time again before that. and he's doing the same stuff that he's heading right back in again. And it's not just one and two of them, you know. And I'm like, I'm kind of glad that I took myself up out of that, right? Kaitai Joy Empress says, nope, you are so nice with it. You wasn't going to get caught. Deathbed confession, son. Yeah, man, I'm just telling, I'm talking about reality and real life, like what I was thinking while I was making these young decisions. But my dad is Army. My grandfather, his father, is JCF, Jamaican Constabulary Force, police career. So I always had it in me, and I was like, yeah, I wanted to go see what that was about, what that was like. I could have went finance. I could have went, oh, I want to be a cook because I like cooking. I have a thing for food and cooking and how food is prepared and put together. But this damn recruiter said, I seen him in his uniform. You know, their uniform looks different from the rest of the Army's uniform. I like the blue cord that was hanging off his shoulder. And the jump boots he had on with 101 stitches in them, which represents the airborne unit, Fort Campbell. And I thought, I want that. And he looked at me and said, you don't have the balls. You don't have the balls to hang with the big dogs. You gotta earn this. I said, say no more. Sign me up. That's what I want. You know when you're young and you're dumb? And you leave, you know when you're young and nobody can tell you, don't challenge young people. They will break their necks, some of them trying to prove to you that I can do what you're telling me I can't do. It was that for me. So when he told me I couldn't, I was like, and by the way, I took the ASVAB and I scored extremely high on the ASVAB. I could have had any MOS that I wanted in the Army. Any. And I chose 11 Bravo, Infantry. Why? Because he told me I didn't have the balls to hang with the big dogs. He's like, fuck yeah, okay. I'm gonna prove that to you. Give me that. He said, yeah, and you know, there's a $20,000 bonus that goes along with this. I said, shit, say no more. That's even better. I was already in college at Florida Memorial University since I was 16. I decided I wanted to leave and go travel. So I left. And I left a bunch of things that I was supposed to sign off on, long story short, and I didn't. And the college kept collecting money in my name. So when I returned, I said, okay, I'm done with my little traveling. Let me go back to school and finish up now. And they called me to the financial office one day and said, you have to settle this bill before you can go any further. It was a $10,000 bill. I said, oh, guess it's time to do Army stuff, right? And with that $20,000, I was able to pay that off one time and bought myself a new car one time. But again, you're dumb. You're dumb. You're trying to prove to somebody, right? You're trying to prove to somebody. I came from out of school. I came from out of, so the few years I was in Jamaica, I was already getting skipped in grades. When I got here, everybody else was older than me in the grade that I was. Right? Had issues, family issues here. Not to go into my background for the person who says I don't know hardship and I grew up nice and the Army, that's why the Army almost broke me and all this other stuff. Okay. So we had some hardships and I went my way. Actually had a scholarship to West Point Military Academy at 16. Family issues, I wasn't able to honor that scholarship. So I left, went, got a GED, took the GED, went to Florida Memorial University, got signed in on a academic/athletic scholarship at that time. And I was in school. So I was at Florida Memorial University at 16 years old. But I'm 16, I'm young, and I'm like, I want to see the world. Plus, there's a lot of crap that was going on in my family, and I wanted to get as far away from them as possible. So I did some time in school, and then a couple days before I turned 18, I bought my own ticket to the UK because I just wanted to get away. The day after I turned 18, I got on an airplane and I was in the UK. And that is how I ended up living in London for 2 years. And then a bunch of stuff happened there as well. And I came back to the US. And, you know, I don't have to explain everything to people, but just know that I've been around. I've been around. See, but as far as regretting serving in the military, not at all. Not at all. I'm thankful for everything I learned. I got to experience and survive it. I lost a lot of friends who did not survive it, and they all had good intentions. We just wanted to find a way that we can be better, you know, productive citizens. Everybody was talking about owning their own homes, raising a family, you know, normal stuff. And we figured that was a way to go about it. And some didn't make it back, and some did. Some left their children. Now children are growing without fathers. And some of us did. So I'm thankful every day. I get to see my children, and I've been blessed. I have 6 children that are all healthy. So I donate to St. Jude's because I don't have to go to the cancer clinic and that kind of stuff. This is a family issue that you need to have heart to heart about. SouFLoTV. Start talking about it when you are ready. Bossy Tarts. Yeah, I don't think I'll be ready to talk about my family issues with other people outside of I might, because if I see how certain stories can help somebody else to learn something, you'll get it piece by piece. But to run out my whole life so that people can have a good timeline of my entire life, I probably will never do that. I don't want anybody outside of me knowing me that well, because, you know, people have intentions that aren't pure. There's a lot of evil people out here, and sometimes people act like they're listening and they're giving a sympathetic air, and next thing you know, all you were doing was giving them darts, and they're sharpening them darts, and they're getting ready to start throwing them back at you, and you gave them the ammunition to do it. So, no, I probably won't go that route. But 1 or 2 stories I feel like can come across as my experience shared could help somebody, then I'll probably do that. And through that, you will be able to hear more stuff. You know? SouFlo, you're a big office man. I'm proud of you, my brother. Manners and respect to you, family. Kaitai Jai Empress says, my parents are almost 80 and still being parents, and I enjoy being spoiled by my dad at DMAC. Because it never goes away, don't? It's one where we've been on for 1 hour and 27 minutes, 28 minutes. We have 2 minutes left on this live. Hey, man, thank you for rocking with me, everybody. Kings and queens, men, women. I don't think any children are on here. Thank you for tuning in, even though it's not the perfect setting. I'm on my phone this morning, not on the 2 computers. So, you know, we couldn't go from topic to topic. And I couldn't pull out the board and do all those topics that I have to do with you and stuff like that. But it was still joyful. It was beneficial for me. Remember I told y'all before? Because somebody said, SouFlo, you're like therapy for me in the morning. And I said, you don't understand how much you are like therapy for me. So I guess we both uplift each other, right? And we both serve that purpose of helping each other to get along in life, to go through it, right? So it's not just me bringing anything to you. You do that for me as well. And this is the reason why right here, if I skip a morning thoughts, trust me, I'm somewhere going, I should have went live this morning. Damn, babe, you think I forgot live later on to make up for live this morning? Ask her, because I got to come to you. I have to come to you. I appreciate you truly so much. Words can't even express, right? And with that said, have a wonderful day. Stay blessed. And like somebody told me earlier this morning, stay prayed up, man. A business when nobody else wants to say. I don't know who you pray to. Cow, tree, God, animal, woman, pum pum. Me don't know. But stay prayed up. Stay blessed. All right. One love, everybody. Keep a smile on your face. Life is short. None of us are going to get out of here alive. as they always say. All right, stay positive, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Hopefully, the internet is up and running so we could get back because we got some topics we got to talk about. Some things are happening, not things are happening that I wish I could have went live about this morning. Might even do a live later. We don't know, but we'll see. All right, one love, peace. Bear, look at this. How do you end the live? How do you end the live on the on the phone? You going to the gym?
See that's all.
That just the X.
Yeah.
Okay.